Act 1 of Armand, or The Peer and the Peasant, by Anna Cora Mowatt. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Persons of the Drama.
Louis XV, King of France. Read by Todd.
Duke de Richelieu, read by Mike Manolakis.
Duke d'Antin, read by Alan Mapstone.
Armand, read by Caveat.
Lesage, read by Greg Giordano.
Victor, read by Matea Bracic.
Jacot, read by David Purdy.
Etienne, read by Elise D.
Blanche, read by Jen Broda.
Dame Babette, read by Kelly Taylor.
Jacqueline, daughter of Dame Babette, read by T.J. Burns.
Stage directions read by Wayne Cook. Act 1, Scene 1. A beautiful part of the Garden of Versailles. Fountain of Neptune with statues. Lesage walking about as though musing. Lesage.
Solve me this problem, Lesage, if thou canst. Why should the Duke d'Antin occupy his thoughts with a young peasant? Why so earnestly desire that his Majesty should behold her? Unquestionably there is a mystery, indubitably a mystery. But thou shalt solve it, Lesage. Thou hast a head, incontestably a head, unqualifiedly a wise head.
Enter Duke d'Antin.
Undoubtedly a head that sees.
Better than your eyes, I trust, Lesage.
Pardon, your grace. Indisputably I did not observe you.
I am all impatience to learn what took place last evening.
Your grace shall hear. Preparatively I need not inform your grace that, obeying your orders, I made myself acquainted with Dame Babette down at the village St. Denis yonder. Instantaneously I discovered that your grace had been rightly informed, and that the Duke de Richelieu frequently visits the dame's cottage in the garb of a citizen. Unsuspiciously the dame calls him Monsieur Antoine.
All this I know. Proceed.
Voluntarily.
You talked to the dame and her young charge of these charming gardens, as I ordered?
I painted the beauties of Versailles with the hand of an artist and the tongue of a poet. Mademoiselle Blanche was enchanted. Courteously I promised to obtain her and the dame an admission. Accordingly, yesterday evening at dusk, when the garden was wholly deserted, I conducted them to this very spot. Secretly I then dispatched Victor to the king. Insinventatingly he suggested to his Majesty that a miraculously lovely young peasant girl had, with a very talkative old woman, inexplicably obtained admission to his private gardens, and was wandering about in ecstatically rustic delight.
Go on, go on.
Immediately.
Did he come? Did he see her?
Certainly. His Majesty was unsuspectedly dying of ennui. Involuntarily he revived at the thought of an adventure, prudentially wrapped himself in a cloak, and unreflectingly hastened to the garden.
And then? Then he joined the peasants?
Indubitably.
They did not suspect that he was the king?
Incontestably not.
He was fascinated with Blanche?
Indescribably.
He became joyous, elated, excited?
Extraordinarily.
Blanche was gay, artless, piquant?
Superlatively.
Hush! Victor comes this way.
Crossing right.
Question him closely. This evening you shall have further directions. Be cautious.
Exit right.
Invariably.
Enter Victor, left.
Ah, Monsieur le Sage, we are charmed to encounter you.
Delightedly. I salute His Majesty in miniature.
If you reflect on our size, Monsieur le Sage, we would inform you.
That is immeasurably beneath my notice. A particularly correct and pungently philosophical conclusion. But, Monsieur Victor, a word concerning the young peasant who, yester evening—
Ah, you touch us nearly when you talk of her. Our love for the elusive sex, for such we deem them, is our Achilles' heel, our vulnerable point. His Majesty, like ourselves, has been cold for a season, but once more the intoxicating effect of the tender passion has overpowered us.
Enter King and Richelieu, left.
In a word, His Majesty's pleased with this young piece of incarnate loveliness, we may say charmed.
Boy, thou art overbold to speak of this to other than ourselves. Away, and be the answer to our wish when next you seek our presence. Go. You comprehend us, sir?
Victor and Lesage make a low obeisance. Exeunt Victor and Lesage, left.
Here, Richelieu, is the consecrated spot where I beheld her first. Here would I raise an altar, sacred, not to love, no rude within our kingdom but were meet for that. Be this to first impressions dedicated.
My liege, I'm all impatience to behold the wondrous beauty.
The wondrous beauty, nay, I said not beauty. It was not what men call beauty that has thus enthralled my soul. It was the spirit's loftier loveliness, unseen, ethereal, and ineffable, which breathed from her pure lips, gave to her step its springing bound, her every movement lent its airy grace, pervaded her whole being, impregnated the air that kissed her robe, and with an atmosphere of purity encircled her. It was her voice whose music no sorrow yet had touched, her childlike prattle, by very artlessness made arch, her form, untortured to its light fragility by court accessories of beauty's toilette, her affluent tresses, flowing unprofaned by touch of mocking powder, which had lain upon their golden light like fleecy clouds upon the sun.
Now, heaven be thanked, my liege. No rhapsody so warm as passed your lips a 12-month. Dullness ends her weary reign. 'Tis plain this young enchantress will dethrone her.
In sooth, she shall. Richelieu, my friend, be prompt. With speed let this new constellation shine upon our court. Some noble dame select, beneath her high protection place this maid. Nor rank nor title shall she lack to gild her lowly origin.
Enter Victor, left.
And for the rest—
Your pardon, sire, the old woman—
What, is she come? Conduct her hither.
Exit Victor, left.
Now, Richelieu, use but your wonted skill, and we are once more your debtor.
Sire, you have but to speak, to wish, and though she were some chaste inhabitant of the moon.
Enter Victor, ushering Dame Babette, left. Exit Victor, left.
The vestal dweller of some star, she should exchange its light for—
Sees the Dame and starts back, greatly moved.
Heavens! Babette!
Why do you stare so? You don't mistake this curious relic of antiquity for the fair one who holds me in thraldom?
Not exactly. That is, precisely. I thought so. That is, I never thought so.
Half aside.
If it were but my own fancy that had conjured up this spectre.
Spectre? You are dreaming. The old lady appears to us in a remarkably substantial condition.
Babette, glancing nervously at the king and away again while she talks.
I am all over in a flutter. I suppose it is my place to speak first, though I never talk. I see they feel just as frightened as I do. Dear me, how they stare, to be sure. If Blanche was only here, she'd wonder at the observation that some people sometimes attract.
After an effort.
Gentlemen, I hope I do not confuse you. I'm really quite alarmed myself before such well-dressed cavaliers. I was sent for here, but I say nothing. I never talk, as everybody knows. I was sent for, that's all. I don't know why, so shall not say.
King retires up. She crosses to Richelieu.
If you could inform me, sir, for I'm but a poor woman, I live down at the village, yonder.
As she is speaking the last words, she looks very intently at Richelieu and gradually recognizes him.
Blessed Mother! It is Monsieur Antoine.
Richelieu, aside to her.
Silence, fool.
Silence, forsooth, as if I ever talk. Ah, Monsieur Antoine, to think of finding you here and dressed so grand.
Hush.
King, who has come forward, attracted by Babette's exclamation.
Why, Richelieu, the old dragon seems to have recognized a friend.
Richelieu? Hey, what? Richelieu?
Richelieu silences her by an action.
Oh, I say nothing.
Richelieu crosses center.
Quite a ridiculous affair.
Trying to laugh.
The old gentlewoman, she actually fancies she has traced a likeness between me and some relation who died in the last century, sire.
Sire? Sire? His Majesty? Oh, blessed Mary! Holy St. Dinners! And last night I talked in such a way. That is, I said nothing. I never talk. What will become of me?
Falling on her knees.
Pardon, your Majesty, pardon. I did not know you. I never suspected you, and it was you last evening that... Oh, pardon, pardon.
Nonsense, my good woman. Your breach of decorum will not put your head in jeopardy.
Oh, I hope not, your Majesty.
Rising.
Holy Saint Anthony! My neck has grown quite stiff at the thought.
We leave you with the Duke, who will communicate our commands.
Exit right.
Duke? Oh, Monsieur Antoine, you are a duke! And such a familiar way as I've treated you this many a year! If you will only condescend to pardon me.
Falling upon her knees again.
A truce to this folly. Rise and listen to me, dame, for on your implicit obedience hangs your future welfare, perhaps your life.
Life? Life? Oh, surely you won't kill me? Monsieur Antoine, I mean your grace, consider my years. Mercy, mercy. Oh, my poor neck will be stiff for a year.
Be silent and listen. You were walking last evening in these gardens with Blanche. By what unlucky chance you came here, by what strange means obtained admission, I have not time to learn. The king saw Blanche, is enamored of her, desires that she shall be presented at court.
Blessed Mary, what an honor! And His Majesty saw me too. Of course, His most gracious Majesty expects me to be presented also. Oh, I'm such a flutter. How shall I live through it?
Are you determined to distract me? Blanche...
I understand. She is to be presented at court?
She shall die first.
Hey, what, die?
Yes, die.
Well, your Highness, I say nothing, but little Blanche, do see her in her grave, after all the fine learning you have given her, and to have her miss being presented at court, too. Why, she always walked and talked. Yes, when she was but 2 years old, she walked like a queen. And since the king, his gracious Majesty, has so graciously looked upon her...
Aye, he has looked on her, and that one look has like a flash of scathing lightning blasted her whole existence.
Crosses to right.
Well, now, I can't understand where's the harm.
Listen, Babette. The king has commissioned me to conduct Blanche to the palace. Tomorrow evening is the latest moment to which I can postpone his orders. She must be saved from the profanation even of his suit, and the energy of my will alone can save her. You, and you only, can aid me. You must, you shall aid me. Tomorrow morning at your cottage I will communicate my project, and I warn you that I shall exact the most implicit obedience.
And Blanche won't be presented at court? Nor I, neither? My Lord Duke, I to refuse such an honour that would make half the village die with envy?
Enter Right, King and Duke d'Antin. Richelieu, seizing her by the arm.
Fool! I tell you that Blanche never, never...
Sees the king, suddenly releases Babette, and changes his tone and manner.
Never should refuse such a distinguishing mark of His Majesty's favour.
There now, that's just what I said, your Highness, and you're not listening to me. Just what I was telling him, your Majesty. Such an honour for us both. I am ready to expire at the very thought. When Dame Barbara knows it, oh, but I say nothing. Nobody shall hear it from me.
Why, Duke, this is a novel mode of proceeding. It seems that you were executing our orders by force of arms.
Your Majesty is facetious. This droll old woman, I can't help laughing at her tenacity. Having conscientious scruples, she refused.
I refused? Refused such an honour? Oh, your Majesty.
Richelieu, aside to her.
Another word, and it shall cost you dear.
Oh, dear, how fierce Monsieur Antoine has grown since he has become a duke.
There is some enigma here.
De Danton, aside to him.
Which your Majesty may find diversion in solving.
Dame Babette, you will remember the directions you have received, and tomorrow...
Then your mind is changed? You consent? And tomorrow we shall have the honour, such an honour. Oh, your Grace, when you forbade me just now, I felt...
Forbade you? Why, Richelieu, is the old woman mad?
I believe so, sire. I really believe so. There, you are at liberty to go. That way, that way.
Trying to lead her towards the entrance, she takes a step or two and persists in turning back.
Oh, I have not saluted your gracious Majesty.
Breaks away from Richelieu and curtsies low to the king.
I wouldn't have your Majesty think me wanting in manners. When I am to be presented at court to such an honour. You see, Monsieur Antoine, that is, His Highness, I can't help calling him Monsieur Antoine,
On account of the likeness. His Majesty knows. You tire His Majesty. Go, go.
Trying to force her away.
The likeness? What likeness? I beg pardon for fatiguing your Majesty. I was only going to say...
Richelieu still forcing her.
His Majesty does not desire to hear. Go, go.
I am gone, as soon as I have made my salute.
Breaking from him, she curtsies again to the king, crosses, and going, returns.
The other grand-looking old gentleman, I have not made my reverence to him yet. Oh, I'll shew him my breeding, now that I am to be presented at court.
Approaches Duke d'Antin, and curtsies low.
Dame?
Nay, Richelieu, we are amused at her vulgarities.
Oh, sire, I see you are much annoyed.
To Babette.
Are you coming?
But His Majesty says
come,
he is
I say.
amused, and...
Forcing her.
But Richelieu...
His Majesty says he is amused.
King and Danton, right. Richelieu forcing out Babette, left, who endeavours to return. End of Act 1.